Welcome to the MHL Podcast.
Wow, that was pretty lackluster.
Oh yeah, I'm not good.
Okay, good. All right, cool.
I'm very not good on like camera or
microphone. Well, congratulations, you've already started. That was my foul trick to get you to actually do it.
That's fine.
And I'm looking at the audio and it looks pretty good. As long as we're not yelling, I can adjust it pretty well.
You sure?
Oh gosh. Oh, it's spiking. It's spiking so hard. Well, welcome. Thanks for being on the podcast. We are, what time is it now? 6:55?
Sure.
Yeah, our voices are a little bit hoarse from last night. Well, mine is. I screamed at the Admirals game.
You scream a lot.
I wanted to scream. It was a victory. We were supposed to scream. Today, we are in the 5th episode with the Kessel Runners, and my best friend Pete is the owner of that team. You can, let's hear it from you. What would you tell us about you? Tell us about Pete. What does Pete like to do?
Pete likes to play hockey.
Pete likes to play hockey. That's a good one.
Lots and lots of hockey.
And Pete likes to play hockey. He also likes to do other things, like we play Blood Bowl.
Yep.
And
like
Magic.
Miniature games, Magic.
Board games.
Of course.
What don't we play, honestly?
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to let people know about you in case the one fan decides, man, I'm going to be a Kessel Runners fan?
No, just that we're your bitter rival, and we're going to keep it at
everything.
Yep.
My bitter rival at everything, which is hilarious because I actually, in the last 4 podcasts, have chosen you to win this next season, believe it or not. And I have the evidence in these little sheets over here to prove it, in my opinion. But before we dive into all of that, as I forget to pull up my questions because I'm just going blind here.
Typical.
But yeah, we've been, I don't know, friends for what, 5 years now? 5 years? Has it been 5 years?
4 or 5 years, something like that.
And we met through hockey. We play hockey. Well, I played. I need to get back into it.
I haven't seen you on the ice for about a year.
It's been a while. Yeah, I own a house, man. It's hard.
I do too.
I'm
what's
newer
your excuse?
to it. I'm newer to it. But anything else you want to sway the viewers into being your fans for? Because it's, I mean, once they see you're playing on the table, they're kind of like discouraged immediately.
No, not at all. It's just bitter rival with the Hornets. That's all you can be for.
All right, well,
it's the best thing.
Yeah, great. Yeah, you tried. How'd that work out for you last season?
It was close.
It was a very close series. We'll get to it. But so tell me about your team. Why did you pick the Kessel Runners? And I know it's because you're a Star Wars fan, but like, what prompted it? Like, was it just like, I don't know what to pick, so Kessel Runners? Did you Google like a cool name? Like,
no, it's just Phil Kessel. Yeah, he was Bruins at first, and then he went to the Penguins. And, me and you, and then Star Wars all together. It just it just fit.
It just kind of all fit. Yep. And did you? I don't remember. Did I let you pick it? I assume I let you pick your colors. I let everyone kind of pick.
Yeah, you pretty much pick whatever was left after. I think
a lot of people.
You, Kat, and Andrew. I think were the only ones I picked so far. So
yeah, and
of course I let Lisa pick too first.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna pick over her.
Lisa liked the orange ones. Kat was very sad when the orange ones got picked. So it was just basically a whim of Phil Kessel puts it all together, and that's why you picked it.
Yep.
Wow. I kind of knew that, but I didn't know if it was, like, actual. All right, well, that was an easy one for you. A lot of the other people rambled on that one. Like, they were just like, I don't know. I asked Andrew, I'm like, why did you pick the loons? He's like, I don't know, it's just a bird from the Minnesota. And he just went on about it. I'm like, oh, well, all right. It's their state bird, I guess. Who would have known?
Yeah,
Andrew knew, I guess.
Well, Minnesota fan, what do you expect?
Yeah, not much happiness.
No.
That's what I expect out of that.
At least he's got the
tragic failures.
NBA to look forward to.
Yeah, he's got Kaprizov.
Yeah, one player, yay.
They're all right. They're all right. They're not great, but they're all right.
Make the playoffs. Come on.
Well, neither are the Penguins, but they're better than Bruins. So
I don't know about that now.
Reverse swept by Florida last year. I guess it's better than not making the playoffs multiple years in a row.
Yeah, definitely. At least we make the playoffs, even with Bergeron and Krejci not playing this year.
This is going to devolve. I mean, you could argue Krejci was past it. You could argue Krejci was kind of like falling off.
Yeah, but it still played for that record season. So
yeah. And how'd that end up?
Yeah, shut up.
I guess regular seasons don't matter. Ask the Toronto Maple Leafs. They don't. Is
Every
this
year.
devolving into an NHL podcast right now?
Yes.
That's perfectly fine with me. Well, all right. Well, let's try to refocus it back on. Well, actually, not refocus it. Just focus it on the MHL because we haven't even talked about it yet. So about the season, just in general, like it doesn't have to be like the game. It could just be anything that had to do with the season. Other than my beautiful shining face, what did you enjoy most about our season?
Probably just...
That was really loud.
Yeah, that hurt.
I don't know. That was some weird
Didn't move any
interference.
mic or anything, and it just really...
Yeah, that was odd. All right, anyway, now we're both blind, no, we're both deaf. I'm more deaf, you're a little bit deaf. That was so weird. I don't even know what that was.
I'd say best part of the season was probably just getting everyone together and just kind of hanging out. That was, the few times we did it. So,
Yep.
it was a good time.
I'm thinking this season's going to be about the same amount of times. I feel like it's enough times to get everyone together, but it's not too many. Like, it's a lot to ask to have people come over, everyone get together on a night, but it's like, not like it's like every week.
Right.
It would be way harder to do.
Yeah, every
But I was
week.
like, we're going to play 6 or 8 or whatever it was individual weeks.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to come for all of those weeks because people get warmed up and then they get a little bit better.
Yep.
Then the games definitely get better. At least I felt like most people played better their second game or third game or
yeah,
whatever
definitely
they
after
played.
getting in the swing of it.
Yeah, and I definitely have some changes coming into the next season where every game is going to have a minute pregame where both players are going to take control of their guys. I'm going to throw a bunch of pucks in there and then you're just going to get a minute, and that's going to give me some stock footage, but it's also going to give you guys like a chance to like everyone to get their hands acclimated, because it is hard when you're not like when you go cold.
Right.
You're just like, oh, here you go, and it's like, well, what player does what?
Yeah.
And then the thing breaks, and then it's just like
Oh, we got a new board this season, so.
and yeah, it's a nice new shiny functional. It's functional. It works nicely. We were messing around with it just a little bit because we were
Cheating already.
No, we were talking about on the last episode. Me and Anthony were talking about the penalty. Well, specifically Lisa's penalty of putting your hands in front, and what should that result in? Should that be a penalty shot? And it's like, well, you can't take a player off the board. So we were thinking. We were trying to see if a penalty shot is feasible, and like it's like a 1 out of like 15 thing for me to score. So like if for the rest of you like and I'm best with my center, so like if everyone else, I mean, it's possible, I guess, but the goalie just stands, and we were deciding, well, can you just put the goalie somewhere and not touch it? But if you do that, I can score every single time depending on what the goalie is. So it's like, I don't know.
You can always do like a 2-person penalty shot too, 2-player.
What do you mean?
You can pass it from the wing.
Oh yeah, that's an option. But we were thinking like, if the puck goes out of play, is that a penalty on the like whoever put it out? How are you gonna tell? Like,
yeah, that's gonna be tough to.
I'm thinking penalties will stick to hands in play or like
blatant stuff,
blatant shaking of the table.
Oh, is that what you do?
Yeah, that's what I do. You watched it in the film. There is a notorious table shaker, and it's not me, and it's not you, and they know who they are. But overall, like, other than just having all of our friends around, how'd you feel like being in front of was it weird being in front of like a light and then like a camera? You kind of don't even when you're playing, it's a little hot because it's like.
Yeah, we don't realize it. I'm sweating anyways when I'm playing.
Yeah, we were all
especially against games with you.
Yeah, it was a very tense. Some of those games were really tense, and some of them were.
Yeah.
Some of the players are a little bit more competitive than the others, which is good because you need that.
Yep.
Like
just like the NHL.
Yeah, you need. I mean, it's like rivalries. Like I've been saying it. I think I said it in pretty much every podcast that like opposed to like I mean Andrew's pretty chill. Andrew goes hard, but he's chill when it comes to rivalries. And Anthony doesn't know enough people, and Kat just wants to beat me. But like other than that, like I don't really want to pound Lisa into sand. You know what I mean? Like it's just you. It's like if I beat you, I'm content. I go 1-6 as long as I can beat you, which makes me happy. But so opposed to like us getting together, what like what's your favorite part? Like, did you enjoy like being in the games? Did you enjoy watching the games?
Oh, being in the games, absolutely.
Being in them, yeah. Did you find yourself rooting for people like when you weren't in the games? Like I always found myself rooting for pucks to score because like they were pretty low on the score.
Yeah, I guess it depended who was playing.
Yeah. You know. It was always whoever.
Everyone was playing against you, I'd root for them.
Yeah, I know that. I know. I knew I was going to say that, but you beat me to it. You beat me to it. But did you have any like memorable moments of like what moment, like was there a goal that was super memorable, a game? Obviously I know one game that we both know you're gonna say, but other than that game you can get to it as well. But is there any like team like you were impressed by something or like
Kat going undefeated throughout the whole season is unbelievable, but you know she should have lost at least one game.
I mean, she played Anthony, 3 times?
I think so, actually.
She played Liberty
I think it was
times?
twice.
It was 3.
Was it 3?
It was 3.
Wow,
she played Lisa twice.
Yeah, and then Andrew twice.
Or I think it was Andrew once.
I thought Andrew played twice.
Well, she played 3 times against Anthony, which was an accident. So she played Lisa twice. So it was Andrew once.
Oh, okay.
And that was it. Because she never played me or you.
Yeah.
And not to say that was a easy schedule, but Anthony, the Liberty were new.
Yeah.
Very new.
First time playing.
Yeah, so Kat is definitely the impressive one. But
yeah, I think our game in the second game in the playoffs definitely was like number 1 game.
That game was crazy. The 7-6 editing that game was a nightmare.
Yeah, I can imagine. I should
show you the sheet after. It was just a nightmare. And trying to commentate over that, like I wish I could do them live, but like it's not really. Yeah. One day I'll get. It'll be in
it's gonna be hard if you're playing though to do it live.
I would have to have somebody step in.
Yeah,
who could be a live commentator?
Yeah, don't look at me.
Pete Edwards. Please no. Everyone would run away from the games. And yeah, I don't know. He's definitely declined.
Yeah, well, he's got mental issues. So.
Yeah, he's pretty old too.
I think he's supposed to retire at the end of this year.
He is retired. Yeah. But yeah, so.
Yeah, but then our first game too, that was
the first one of the season. Yeah, that 1-0 victory with 28 seconds left. I won't forget it.
Believe it.
It was my first victory in MHL.
Yeah.
My first goal in MHL. Goal too. Yeah, it was a lot of firsts. There was a lot of firsts for the mini hockey league. And
first shutout.
First shutout, technically. Yeah. Don't feel bad because the next game was also a shutout.
Yeah.
Every game in the first week was a shutout.
Was it really?
It was 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. It was like the most boring week ever. And then people kind of learned how to score like a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. So as far as your like play style, you are a 2-hand on offense, right? Or do you play 1-hand on goalie? Because everyone's kind of split.
When the puck comes in my zone, if you have it, I'll play on goalie.
1-hand on goalie.
Yeah, but once it's out of my zone, I'm not on goalie.
Yep. So you play like a hybrid like I do.
Yeah.
And, I mean, my stats don't say it as much as yours do. You're effective at it. You were tied for second in goals against with 8. So mine was significantly worse. I allowed way more. I don't know the exact number, but I'm pretty sure I was like 5th in the league, which is kind of surprising considering how well I did in the regular season. But it was like I was winning 4-2.
That's because you were scoring too. That's the thing.
I was scoring a lot, yeah. But as far as like, is there anything that you would like improve upon, like that you wish like after watching some of the games you were like, dang, there's you could do.
I think I was being a little bit too methodical sometimes in the offensive zone, and kind of need to work on that. And
I feel like it's good, and it's really good when you have a lead or you're trying to score for the first goal, because you were very effective with some of your passes, like even better than. Like, you were the best at some of those passes from the wings, for sure, but there was also times when I'd be watching you play, and there would be, like, 30 seconds, which is, a good amount of time, but like you're sitting there and just holding it, and I'm like watching the time tick down. I'm like,
and I'm down by 1 or 2 goals.
Move it, because like it's if the person is sitting there, it's like, But I mean, it works sometimes. I mean, it works when it works, but you definitely have to figure it out. I mean, I think my problem is that I'm not methodical enough. Like I just try to push everything to the net, and then if I'm so busy on offense that defense comes, I'm like, my goalie's not in the right position. And have you noticed like how people, Kat is pretty much the big one, is when she doesn't hold on to a player, she puts them in a certain spot to play defense. Like I feel like everybody, and that's not a knock on you, everybody that isn't Kat could improve on that, like where they put their players. I think that's one of the things that Anthony the Liberty wanted to work on. He was like, I'm just leaving my players wherever, and it matters. It really does matter, because we don't play like professionals. Like the puck just bounces around. Sometimes it gets to where it gets, and it's like, well, if the puck is, if you have a guy in the right spot, like at least you have a chance.
Right.
Like, you can do things to avoid the center on the other team getting the puck, like the way you put your defenseman. It's hard to like explain without like video in front of us.
And I started realizing it towards the end of the season,
and it paid. It definitely paid off. I mean, your record,
not the greatest.
It wasn't the greatest, but you had I would consider our division was probably a tough one, and you had one of the toughest schedules because you played Cat, right?
No, I never played Cat.
Oh, you played me twice.
We just talked about this.
Oh, yeah. Well, you didn't play Cat. You played me twice. You played Andrew twice. Yeah. And then you played Pete and Anthony once.
I am Pete. I can't play myself.
Or, sorry, you played Lisa and Anthony. Once apiece. So, I mean, that's not an easy schedule. I mean, what I would assume, you beat Lisa. I think you beat the Pucks, and I believe you also beat Liberty, and you lost to Andrew.
Well, I had to have if Liberty was.
You lost to Andrew in overtime and once in regulation. I remember the overtime one. It was it was my favorite goal of the season, where he chipped it over your defenseman, and then he hit it out of the air, and it like hit the post, hit your goalie, and went in. It was like ridiculous. I'm like,
that's how we win games, apparently.
Yeah, but as far as like the rest of your stats go, I mean, based off these stats is kind of why I'm picking you to win, because you were second in save percentage at .789, which is phenomenal considering it didn't start out very like bad, but it wasn't great. You were definitely one of the lower ones as the season started, and then you tightened it up at the end. Andrew plays defense so well. Yeah. And shots 36, you were third, so you're putting enough on. Like the only ones who had more was me and Kat. It's just because we're more experienced offensively. Right. And then, like I said, goals against and goals for, you were tied at 8, so you were technically like a 0 plus minus, which is it was third. So I mean, all your metrics are like pretty relatively higher end. Why do you think the result wasn't what it was? 2-3-1 isn't. Those metrics don't seem like a 2-3-1 team.
They're just close games. You lose by 1. I think it was like 5 out of the 6 games were losses by 1.
That's tough. And as I'm looking at these stats, I mean, you're allowing four shots a game here, 4 there, 5 here, 2 there, and you only had 1 bad one at the end with 14 against. I don't even know who you played for that one. It might have been me. It might have been me. It might have been a barn burner. I'm not sure. I can't recall.
I don't remember.
I believe it was me. Who else is producing 14 shots that isn't Kat? It's either me or Andrew, and I don't think it's going to be Andrew.
No.
But, sorry, I should go by the Loons. I should say their names, because not everybody knows them.
Yeah, the Loons,
They should know. They should definitely know them now and memorize everyone.
Yeah, he wasn't big in shots, so he was very defensively, and that was about it. He had shots, but he wasn't 14.
He was methodical not methodical, that's not the right word. He was sporadic on how he would score.
Yeah.
A lot of his goals on me were tips, which is weird, because nobody in the league was tipping. Like, Kat had 1 tip goal, and she had one that like banked off the wall and in. But like everyone else's goals are pretty basic. Like mine is just shoot it with the center. Yours is like pass it with a wing, center, score. Like Andrew was like tipping pucks. He had his player out and he would shoot it, and in multiple occasions he would tip it in. Like even if it kicked the skate. It was crazy. I'm like, Andrew, when did you learn how to do this? Like he doesn't
even know he's doing it.
He doesn't know what he's doing until just that goal goes in, and it's like. But he played. I mean, he was playing lights out at the end.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you two had a really close game there, the wild card game.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah. I mean, were you worried about him in that round?
Not too much. Wow. I knew I could outscore him.
As long as you outscored him, that would be what it was. And
well, usually how it works for a win, you got to outscore the other team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But with Andrew, it was different because he was gaining momentum offensively towards the end. And if he... he beat me pretty badly in the 5th week. And I was like, if I was going to get... I mean, I was worried about you, but I was definitely worried about him. I couldn't score on him. Like, I tried really freaking hard. I was, like, really angry that I couldn't score. I didn't want to lose. I was like, I want to be 6-0 too. And I crushed my dreams. But your offense is... I mean, you got a goalie goal. I mean...
I think that was...
You had a goalie goal in week 2.
Week 2, yeah.
Yep, but otherwise, all your goals came from... and I mean all of your goals, except for one, came from your center, which is all assists from your left wing and right wing. So it's clear you have a strategy. Do you have any way of, like... Are you planning anything this season to, like, maybe utilize, like, defensive shots or wing shots? And maybe practice, you know, when you get through warm-ups... The wings aren't scoring goals for you, and they were for a lot of other teams. Yeah. Is that something you could utilize? I mean,
yeah, it's something I just need to work on. I started doing some D shots at the end of last season, but it just wasn't working. But yeah, I definitely need to start shooting with the wings more rather than being methodical trying to get it to the center.
The defenseman shots they're pretty particular, like where the opponent's offense is like out of the way.
Right, it's got to be perfect.
It's got to be a good opportunity, and like they're difficult to score on. Kat has got it mastered, so if you need tips, I know. Kat is like, she had like 5 defensive goals. It's like crazy, more than anyone else. But like, I mean, she was just playing out of her mind with defensemen, and I mean, defensively, I don't think you really have too much of a problem. It's more, you know, potting it in it with different people. You do have a right defenseman goal, so I mean, there's hope.
Yeah, that could just been luck though too.
A lot of the goals are luck. If it's not my center, I count it to luck usually. I count it to luck. But other than that, I mean, we've kind of covered pretty much everything about your team. So let's see. What would you recommend? Do you have any recommendations or things that you would like to see in this next season? Anything more than I'm doing? So obviously we've added captains. There's something cool coming up, but I don't want to go too much about it. But like, is there anything else like you think I should change up? Like the food, I guess. I mean, was there anything you'd like to see now that we're switching it to a one division one division thing? Is there anything you'd like to see happen?
The only thing I can think of is maybe just playing against every team.
I'm glad that you brought this up because I have our new schedule here, and as we close out the podcast, what we like to do is I've been asking everybody. Not everyone had this schedule, but I've been asking everybody to rank where they think everyone else is going to land this season. So, we'll go off of your schedule, and as you can see, there's no divisions; they're just teams. So this is how they are. So in week 1, you're going to play the Loons, and every single week will be a doubleheader game.
Okay.
You play twice in week 1. It's just a doubleheader. Okay. So and you're going to play everybody once, and it's going to be a doubleheader. So you're going to play every single person. So you start with the Loons. How do you think of doing that series?
It's going to be close, depending on how offensively minded Andrew gets, or the Loons get.
Everyone's going to be cold. So
yeah,
it might benefit him because if you're not warmed up to your scoring and he's defensive,
all
he needs is one.
It's going to be tough.
So, I mean, I could definitely see a split in that series, 100%. I feel like he could win the first one, and then you get your offense going in the second one.
Yeah.
Then you play the Pucks. That's a nice rebound game. We'll see how Lisa does and how the Pucks do in
see how she improves in the offseason.
Yeah. Is there improvement being made in the offseason?
I don't know.
We'll see. Next, you are going to play against me. I have a strong feeling we'll split that one.
That's a double win for me right there.
No, that's a double win. All right. You are then going to play against Anthony in the Liberty in week 4. And unfortunately, you're closing out against Kat.
Yeah, that's fine.
So hopefully you're not in a bad position. As far as this season goes, I don't know if I've told you yet. We have 6 teams in the one division. The number 1 seed will get a bye.
Okay,
The number 6 seed will be eliminated.
Oh, you're gonna.
So
You gotta.
it's incentive to not be last, and also it gives incentive to win.
Yeah. So number 1 team is gonna get a double bye then.
They'll get a single bye.
Then how are you gonna do?
Yeah, you're right. I might have
do
to
5 teams or 3 teams after that.
Yeah. How would I? Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah. That's why I mentioned it.
Yeah.
Trying to help you out there.
I don't want to do a double bye.
Yeah.
They could do a double bye though. That would be really nice. That'd be really good for.
I mean, it
team
could be
1.
good and bad. It can get cold and
Other teams are playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, good catch on that. I didn't even think about that. I didn't think about the second round. Maybe we'll have to add a 7th team.
Yeah, if we gotta, we gotta.
If that's what has to happen. But as we figure out the playoff debacle, it's a good thing we figured that out. This is why we have you on the podcast. See, look, recommendations, things I need to figure out. An actual playoff bracket. I feel like it's pretty simple. How do you think? We'll go 2 things and then we'll close it out. So the first thing is, at the season, who do you think is going to be 1 through 6? Who do you think is going to end where in the season?
Oh,
Yep, it's a hard one.
that's gonna be a hard one.
Yeah. Because people fluctuate, man. And I could see Anthony improving. I could see the Liberty improving severely this season. I could see it. As you could watch weeks 4, 5, and 6. He was on the rise. He was playing Cat every game, and he was scoring goals on her.
He's still getting good.
Yeah.
So I think number 1. Oh,
This is just for season. This isn't for playoffs. So
I think it's gonna be between me and you for number 1.
You think so?
Yeah. Number 2 would probably be me or you.
Yeah. So you
obviously.
just interchange those two how you would.
3. I'm gonna go with Andrew Loons.
You're gonna say Andrew?
Yeah.
We're seeing a steep decline for the Wombats.
Yeah, I think Wombats will be number 4.
I think they're gonna be number 4.
Oh, and then 5 and 6. That's, I don't know. Those 2 are going to be very close.
Liberty and Loons. Yeah, it's
no,
gonna
Liberty
be,
and Pucks.
Or sorry, Liberty and Pucks. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be.
That's going to be a toss-up.
It's going to be who gets more wins in the season. I feel like it's going to come down to week 1, hilariously, because that's when they play, and it's like who's going to win more of those games. And
if they tie, it might even just be tied throughout the whole season.
Who could pick up? I mean, I don't think they're going to go winless for the rest of the season.
I know, but I think if they both win one game in their first week, it's going to be
I mean, they
pretty much even throughout the whole.
Yeah, it'll be who can steal a win off of one of the other teams, you know. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure this whole playoff bracket out now. I want there to be a good incentive for the victor, because there's like no point in trying to win at all. If
you're going to playoffs anyways, why care?
I guess if you're the best team, you could play against the worst team. I mean, I could do a double bye and make it really interesting, but that would just be like a basic, almost free pass to the finals for.
Yeah, it's kind of not fair.
No.
You got to have some type of playoff.
No, maybe you could. And it's like not fair to do an advantage either, because it's like give somebody a game advantage for winning. That's not fair. Yeah, we might actually not have an elimination, but I don't know.
I mean, if it really does come down to it, we can have 1 and 6 play, and then 2, 5, 3, 4.
Which is exactly what it was.
Well, no, because we had 2 different divisions, so it was a little different.
Maybe 1 and 2 could get a bye.
Yeah, we could always do that.
1 and 2 could get a bye, and then 3 and 6, 4, 5, and then 1 would take the winner of the lowest seed.
Yeah.
So that could be a way. We might have just figured it out. I mean, because I really want there to be incentive to win. Like, I want there to be an incentive to be in first place.
Right. Well, first and second would be still an incentive.
Yeah.
So.
And I
think it's going to be a lot closer this year. So
I do agree. I don't see any teams going. Well, I guess it's 5, so 10-0. It's going to be a lot more games.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot more games. So we'll see. I feel like we're going to be able to. It's going to be interesting on how it all shakes out. And playoffs wise, who do you think is coming home this year? Who do you think's bringing it home?
That's me.
I also thought that I think that you might get it, and I think that I would be worried if I played you in the finals. I'm not really too worried about a lot of people. I feel like my strategy is pretty bold, just shoot the puck.
Yeah.
A lot of people still aren't stopping it, and until I see the improvement of people stopping my center, everyone knows about it now, and I've told everybody in that chair, stop my center from getting the puck. And so everyone knows the key, right? So I'd like to see, I don't know, I'd like to see more defense this year, but also that kind of sucks. I kind of want offense.
Yeah.
Defense is boring.
Yeah, I know. You like to score the goals.
Yeah, I like to score the goals.
Yeah.
And it really, it pains me when I do it. It makes me sad. But yeah, that's about it. We're going to wrap this thing up, and we're going to have the pucks in here right after this. So thanks for coming on. We'll see if you actually gain a fan from this. I doubt it. But
everyone loves me. Come on now.
He's also a Bruins fan, everybody.
Exactly.
And you just lost all 4 of your fans.
Oh, whatever.
But thanks for being on, and maybe that cup can be yours. Well, it won't be that exact cup, but it'll be a cup. Maybe it can be yours next season.
Sounds good.
We'll hang a Castle Run banner in my room.
I love it.
All right, man.
All right, thanks.